What's up, champions? It's Devon Petersen here, and you are watching Bullseye Beyond. You send in the questions, and I will answer them honestly. A lot of the popularity of the show now is coming in at a point where people are starting to find their voice and asking the questions. Many still sending DMs, which is fine. I'll keep you anonymous. But the people that are posting it on the social media platforms, fantastic. Keep it coming, and I'll answer them as soon as possible. So we have a follow-on. So Krusty Nugs sent a question before, and this is him watching the episode. So go watch the episodes before 1 to 6, I think it is, and then this will be the 7th episode currently. And Krusty Nugs asks, so what happens if the body in question wants to remove your membership because of a comment made on social media responding to another post? So what if I give you context? And the context is that this said person posted out of frustration, right? And the frustration is because Dart South Africa is a top tier talent, but Dart South Africa is not allowing him to participate in qualifiers, in ACTs, and all of the other stuff, right? And Dart South Africa is also not giving them a lot more opportunities. And I think where all of this then transpired is the potential banning of an under 18 player. Episode 6, Hayden Moodley, go check it out. And what then happened was he found himself being so frustrated that he just lashed out, like everybody else that does that on social media. And what has now transpired is this gentleman received a letter to say that, tell us why you must not be banned for your comment on social media. Now, when you think about that, right, it's actually, I don't know, I'm gonna hold my comment as in what I actually think, but I'm gonna be brutally honest in this way. If he's going to be banned because of his comment, and I think it was a comment like DSA is a, and then we blur out or blank out that words. But what he's saying is that he is so frustrated that he just lashed out. But DSA can't be held accountable for their wrongdoings every single time. So when a federation continues to break constitutional laws that are set by the country, when they continuously hinder growth, when they continuously they don't develop anything, these things happen because everybody is like held so tight, and there's going to be a point where there's going to be explosion. Every single player right now wants to have freedom of association and freedom of place and choice, right? So they want to play wherever they want to play because there doesn't have to be restrictions anymore, simply because we don't live in the years where restrictions was part and parcel of. That is like 32 years ago. We're now in the year where globally, World Dart Federation, you can play, if you don't have a tour card, you can play on here on the World Dart Federation events, and you can play in PDC Challenge Tour events, you can go to Q schools, all of those things, right? And what also happens is, if you're World Dart Federation, if you play in the World Dart Federation circuit, or you play on your local leagues, you can still play in the PDC events. And I've made a comment about this, I think it is episode 3 or episode 4. And when you understand what that means, this specific person is now so frustrated, but he received a comment. And you know why he received a letter? Because he's talking, number one, against Dart South Africa in frustration. Number two is he is part of a group of players that have been victimized. And I know this for a fact because the information shared with me and the proof shared with me will identify who the person is that has been sharing these screenshots and all of that with Dart South Africa to bring him actually into a disciplinary for him to lose his membership. And I think that in the whole grand scheme of things, right? All of the problems that we're having now stems from the fact that there's no freedom of choice of where you can play. Because all you're just doing is you're just saying, you know what, in South Africa, we're going to allow our players to participate in all of the international qualifiers, in the ACTs, and not have the fear that these players will play in these events and not come back to Dart South Africa and we will be no longer. I can promise you, right, we won't allow that to happen. Dart South Africa has a major role to play in our development and in our structured play in South Africa. But the leadership in those positions, that is where the problem lies. And we can't continue this way if the leadership is in that position. And I'm not just talking about the one said president or his executive. I'm talking about provincial presidents. It seems as though these people go to meetings and sit there or make rulings. I've been in multiple meetings with them as well before. And I can tell you the conduct and the conversations that happen in that meetings, it blew my mind that these are the people that are leading African development or South African development in the sport of darts. It didn't strike me as, it didn't blow me away. Let me put it that way. There wasn't even a breeze. So I'm saying, Rastam, in your position that you are in, I think that what you need to look at is the following. Send them the facts of what happened, right? Why you feel the way you feel. Then number two, send them the possibility of you having legal counsel. And then request to them as well that maybe you need a bit of time to actually understand what they're asking, because a lot of these times these letters come through and then you must immediately respond within 7 days or 10 days. And then, so you're kind of doing something under duress, which is not great. And I'm not a no legal expert, but I'm telling you now that procedures need to be followed, right? And when you position it correctly, they have to answer correctly. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is, do your research on what laws they are breaking in these revised policies and the social media policies and all of those things. Because I can assure you, they are not as squeaky tight as they think they are. That is what's going to change all of this. Because there's no way you as Dart South Africa are fighting so hard to hold players, to not let them go, to not let them explore, but then you want to suspend or remove somebody's membership for what he said about you on social media. Let it make sense somehow, because I don't understand it. I really don't. If I wanted to stay, but if you talk about me in social media, and I'm talking about the federation, not personally, if you talk to me about this in social media, right, and then we chase you away, but we actually want to keep you. On our side, we've had that as African Darts Group, we've had that multiple times, but we chase you away. We don't want you there. Because if you're talking bad about what we are doing, when we are doing the most, then you have a problem. Then there's an internal indoctrination, brainwashing that comes from Dart South Africa and coming into ADG. We don't need that. So I can be brutally honest with that. If you're that kind of person, you're not going to play in ADG. Because we're building towards a better future, a supportive structure that supports players in a platform that can change the way in which Africa experiences and develops the sport. We are not going to allow you to come here and break down. So, Krusty Nugs, I wish you all the best, my brother. I think send those things that I said, do that, and then see what they say. And keep us updated. Let us know where they are at, if they've given you a suspension, if they sent you a letter, all of those things, and I'll clearly do the follow-up. I don't mind. Because I think a lot more people need to know what is happening in the background. Because a lot of this nonsense doesn't bode well. Because it would just seem as though they're sitting around and just controlling. This is Bullseye Beyond, where only the truth matters.